In my last video, I said that I try not to recommend books by privileged voices, and a whole lot of people got upset. I had comments ranging from like, what do you mean by that, to like, so like, let's break that down. First, as just a matter of like the record, I have recommended plenty of books by white male authors over the years. It's not like I never do that. I think the easiest way to make this distinction clear is to ask the question of who has the most epistemic authority to even address a certain issue. I love this book Range by David Epstein. I've recommended it and lots of people watch that video. But I'm not going to trust David Epstein when it comes to discussing indigenous history and indigenous issues. I'm gonna trust Robin Wall Kimmerer because she's indigenous. I've made other videos about this in the past, including the question of whether or not you can rationally decide to have children, including the discussion about Kant's aesthetic theory and debunking the notion of objectivity. Many people with the best perspective on an issue are the people who have the embodied lived experience of that. And that's often not men with a lot of caucasity, it's people who are pushed to the margins of society in whatever particular dimension of oppression we happen to be analyzing at the time. But there are two more reasons to prioritize the voices of Black women or the voices of Black men or the voices of trans people in the choices of books that you put on the internet or on in my case, on my platform. First is selection effects. I know this firsthand from trying to get my own book published. It takes years and years to get these things done, and often publication is less a function of how good your book is and more a function of who you happen to know and how many years of time and hours of disposable income you have to pour into a project that is making you no money up front. If you're a tenured professor at MIT or at Cambridge or Oxford or whatever the fuck, you don't need my help. You're fine. You got social safety nets all around you. So if I can cover a book by a Black woman author instead of some super privileged person, I'm gonna do that, and I consider that the only responsible way to run a platform like this. But the final argument is economics. We live in an attention economy, and extremely loosely, attention equals dollars. This is part of how things work in the digital age. I've talked about this in my reparations video, and I learned about it mostly from Kimberly Jones and also from Heather McGee. The economic situation in the United States is barbaric because of the history of discrimination and the history of sort of once-in-a-lifetime events like 2008, like the burning of Black Wall Street, that destroy massive amounts of Black wealth. The Black-white wealth gap is 10-to-1 in this country. So I'm gonna prioritize marginalized voices, and that helps everyone.